Okay, and it looks like we are live. Yay, we're live. We are live. We're not dead. But if we were dead, it would be a little bit harder for you to see us. But I'm being very silly. So, anyway, let me change the picture back there. I don't feel like having the same clouds behind me every single time. Let me look through my potential pictures. See, let's see. How does that look? That looks nice. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, okay. There's a reason I am here. And it's more than just because I'm doing the broadcast, the stream. Hi, I'm the Ocean, and this is the Ocean's Deep Woo. What do we do here? We do woo. I mean, really, that's what we do here. The deepest of woo, in fact. Okay, so basically, if you haven't been here before and you haven't seen my work here, I'm shamanic. I have been in the metaphysical, spiritual, magical community for decades now. And I have trouble sometimes finding topics to look up that I don't know at least something about. So at a certain point, I figured it's time to start sharing all that with anybody who wants to listen. And although this started out as a paranormal, supernatural sort of channel, it became clear that there was really a need to have a place where star seeds, magical types, and um, just shaman and people who thought differently, light workers, etc., could go and hang out and chat with other people of like mind because in your usually in your home area it's hard to find those things, and I realized that that was really as much why people were showing up as for any of the subjects I came up with. I mean, they were also happy to, everybody's also happy with food chat sometimes. So, I mean, it just because you're a magical person doesn't mean you have to always discuss magical things, right? Sometimes you just want to be with people that will understand you, and you can share your recipes, although most of the time those recipes are not typical recipes or like recipes for Sasquatch tea or something. But it's like it's nice to be able to go and find some people that you don't have to explain everything to. I get that all the time. I get that from people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I don't have to explain that to you." Oh my God, I'm relieved. You know, it's just like they go to talk about something and well, and it's like and then I say, yeah, and they're like, yeah, yes, I do. I know. Yeah, so go on. And then they're like, oh, wow, I can just talk. I can just talk. I don't have to explain or convince or whatever. It's like, no, I really believe that if people are experiencing things, then something is going on. Okay. if people are experiencing UFOs, and that's going on. Crop circles are going on. I mean, it's the peoples are seeing little balls of light creating crop circles. It's happening somewhere. And I mean, if people are having ghost issues, well, I've seen plenty of that. On and on and on. The reason most of this stuff comes up is because there's people's experience of it. So this place here that I made is kind of an experiencer heaven because we don't sit around and say, no, I wonder if that could be. And are you sure you're not hoaxing? It's like, if you are, if you are, that's shame on you. Okay. But, we'll listen unless there's something nasty about it. I mean, if there's something, that's clearly malevolent or something that's clearly meant to just be trolling this site, that's different. But um, by and large, whatever your story is, I'm willing to at least listen to it and give it a thought because you never know. There could be some stuff you never heard of before. There could be some stuff you haven't encountered. With me, it's kind of hard to find stuff that I haven't encountered. However, I know that there's stuff that I haven't. So, there's some stuff I haven't experienced myself, but I certainly heard a lot about it. And there's also some stuff that I experienced that maybe nobody else has. I don't know, but I'm not worried about it anymore. In my mind, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing just by relaying what I've learned, what I've experienced. My take on it, that's all I can give you is my opinion. Can I give you the end all and be all opinion? Probably not. Probably not in a show like this. However, who knows? Maybe one day. But um, you know, this this gives me somewhere to leave my legacy. Okay, and somewhere to catalog experiences of my own, as well as other people who come through here from time to time. So to me, it's worth it someday or even right now if the information helps people. Then that's great. You know, if if it helps anybody, and I get told pretty much constantly that it does help people. Okay, and that's great then. I mean, as with most empath, light worker, magical, people like us, most of us, we want to be useful. We just want to share what we've learned. We want to leave a legacy. We want to help people. We want to, this is. I really think star seeds, light seeds, they're mostly service oriented. Okay, in our hearts, and it's because of love. We have love in our hearts, and that makes us want to help people. And that makes us want to be of service, and that makes us want to give of our experiences to help other people. See, it's just, I think, part of the experience of being who we are. And when I meet people who are not like that, who, how can I say, it's very discordant to meet people who are strictly service to self. And I've met many. I don't understand them. I can't, I have a hard time. I've learned, you know, hard way sometimes. I've learned, but it's so hard. It's like they're so foreign to us. They're so foreign. It's like you are talking to somebody from another planet because maybe we are. I mean, it's definitely not the way things are where I come from, right? Most of us come in here seeing everything as upside down, backwards, and inside out. You know, that's the way it is. It's what we call the inverted matrix because I'm with the very smart people, many very smart people who have decided that the chances are infinitesimal that we are not in the matrix. You don't have to believe it. But think about this. It's like we have codes coming in, star seeds. You hear that all the time. We have codes coming in. Why would we have codes coming in if this wasn't working like a matrix? Hello. If we've been given, we've been given hints all along, but left to make up our own minds. But a lot of people who've meditated on it. Okay, now that we have created computers and the internet and so on and so forth, we're finally starting to see it. We're starting to actually see it, right? We're starting to see how our creations are like we have copied reality. We haven't made anything new. We've copied life as it is with our creation. So this gives us a framework with which to talk about the matrix, which is not real life. This is not real life. This may be real life within the matrix, but it's not real life as far as our souls are concerned. There's realities out of here. People have seen it. Okay, people have seen the next world. You know, where we go and we die, life between worlds, between lives, life between lives. I mean, that was a Bruce Montgomery thing. You know, we know something of the nature of life and death and everything. We know that this place is not, we've been told for the longest time it's illusion by all the greatest teachers. This place is just an illusion. But we didn't understand what that really means. It means, dudes, it's a matrix. It is an illusion. It's all just frequency. It's all just waves bouncing around. It's what we see. Everything we see is light hitting our eye. Everything we hear is a frequency of sound. And even everything we feel is a frequency. So obviously, and everything are these electrical signals that your brain translates into some kind of reality for you. But that's all it is. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to have some very real and painful sometimes effects. Hello, John. How are you doing? Max Vision Remote Viewing class. How you doing? It's a lonely old night tonight. You're the first one in. I don't know what happened, but it's okay. I'm not. I'm here for a little bit, and I was going to do my unboxing of my two new card decks. I think they're pretty cool. I've got Magical Unicorns and Spirit Junkie decks, which Spirit Junkie is kind of cool. And the Magical Unicorns are, of course, very positive decks. So, and I got them like really cheap. I mean, I think I paid like $2.99 for one and $3.99 for the other, something like that, on Temu because they were in clearance. So I couldn't resist, you know. Um, I find them useful to kind of as what they're supposed to be, which is a focus. Cards are supposed to be a focus. They don't have any magic in themselves. It is helpful if the person who put them together is knowledgeable and thoughtful about putting them together because they're not very useful otherwise. But uh, really, they're a focus. That's what they do. Um, I have all this information running around in my head, and the cards make you focus in on something, this area, that area, instead of the whole vast scope of things, right? So these are Doreen Virtue, and this is Gabrielle Bernstein. Anyway, so I was going to like give people a card tonight. If that's not happening, that's okay. Actually, I've been having a lot of trouble with my back, but I think I've got it under control. I think I finally got it under control. It's been days though, very painful and hardly able to walk. It's been practically throwing me on the floor. So I remember I'm going to my guidance, my guides. It's like, why are you like, because Paul is hurting and Teresa's hurting, several other people. Um, just all ouch, and the weather change and so on. Air pressure change seems to do it to me a lot. But it just I was kind of mad today and I said, why are you guys letting me suffer? My guides. I want I want this solved today. I don't think I deserve to suffer like this. Well, we had to get the messages like kind of bit by bit. I think what it was there were some things that we did, some things that we cleared, and some actions we took that we wouldn't have taken otherwise. That's usually what it is. Something we cleared up or cleared away or whatever, that if we hadn't had this stuff flare up, we never would have taken care of that. We wouldn't have thought to take care of it. So usually once you figure out the lesson goes away. And therefore, I think I probably have figured out the lesson. And one of the parts of it is something, and I was told when it was somebody else asking, oh, they've heard it all before. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? That's not being very helpful. What have they heard? Which part have they heard all before? Ah, and then they just kind of look like, that knowing look like, oh, you'll get it eventually, you know. Uh, well, I really hate when they do that sometimes because it's like, I know they know. I know they can tell me. For some reason, they don't feel they want to tell me or can't tell me. for some reason or other, right? And it's probably because if they told me I wouldn't do whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing because it happened, if that makes any sense. Hi, Elderberry, how you doing? So we sometimes wonder why we are made to learn this very painful lesson. The other thing is, if it's really painful and you have to put up with it for a few days, you're not going to forget that very soon. You know, you're going to be aware of that. You're you know, you kind of think back and you're going to go, oh my God, that hurt. I don't think I want to do that again. Maybe I'll pay attention better. What was it? One of the main things was posture. So simple. That and one of the things that was helping me get free of a lot of my problems was I call it the shaky machine, which is basically a vibrating platform that you stand on, and it shakes you and it gives you exercise running in place. It's like, oh, hi, Sky Falls. How you doing? Um, so it gets the lymph moving and it gets your blood circulating because it's shaking you up and moving you around, right? And you can burn like 800 calories a minute on these things. So, that's, and I thought, really, if you've got swelling, it really behooves you to maybe think about getting one of these things because it really gets your fluids in your body moving, called a vibrating platform. Anyway, so, I finally got back up on my vibrating platform. I changed my posture because basically, um, I got this email. And isn't it funny how you get an email or an ad or something? It's something you were talking about. Got an email from a person talking about her. Of course, you got to listen to them tell you for an hour this same story. It's like a freaking romance novel. They're all formulaic. So all these stories about how they discovered this or that are also formulaic. So I just put it on in the background to find out what she was on about while I was trying to do other things. And she talked mostly about finally what it came down to was stretching, posture, and this back stretcher thing. And I'm like, oh, this back stretcher thing that you stretch back over. And she was saying how the pain isn't always what you need to stress where the pain is. Sometimes the pain is originating from something else, and you need to stretch that. And she's got some kind of thing that's supposed to do all kinds of good for you. Plus, she'll send you this back stretcher thing. Well, you know me, and she wants this price, but it's such a discount price, and blah 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 blah. But what the basics of it is okay. I thought she's right, okay, because she was saying she had a sports. What her real basic? I guess that was the real basic one was. She had a sports. She had a car injury from a crash. Hey, witchy poo, and and she seemed to cure it with um, all kinds of health and fitness stuff, but then it just crashed, boom, years later, recurred and just like crashed her. And when she was at the top of her game. So then she had to figure out what was really doing this. Okay. So then she did all kinds of research and came up with this. And it has to do with posture stretching and mostly letting your body stretch out the other way from how it is all day. Why do we have these problems? We're crunched forward all day, looking down and looking over things. And it's true. And we develop horrible posture. That's one of the reasons we get these problems. I mean, everything that we do these days, and especially if we're going to work in an office or something, we're crouching over like this, we're looking down. Um, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to set up as straight as I can, and I'm going to go over on my shaking machine to get rid of some of the fluid, to get the fluid, the lymph fluid moving. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Guess what? Earlier, I actually had to take a pill, which I don't like to do. I had to take a pain pill. But tonight, I'm actually not doing that bad. So it's working. So if you're having problems, you might want to look at your posture. And tonight, if I'm looking all hoity-toity and so on, and kind of looking down my nose at you, it's only because I don't want my back to hurt. Okay, it's not because I feel so superior. It's because I am stretching my back in the opposite way so that I don't have that kind of pain. And there's that explanation. But that doesn't explain the hat. I just like hats. I thought I was ordering a different hat, but I ordered this one. I thought I was getting something else, and I accidentally got this hat. But it's a cool hat, though. So I don't know. What do I look like, a freedom fighter or something? It's one of those beret things. It's not a raspberry beret like you'd find in a secondhand store or anything, but it's some kind of beret. It's kind of brocade beret. Has a little kitty cat's design all over it. I like it, and it's purple. Anyway, I think I paid about $4 for it on Temu. I didn't, wasn't even, I didn't even think I was, I kind of accidentally bought it, but hey, it's nice. I, I, I will be able to survive spending $4. Um, anyway, so then I'm like, to my guides, I'm saying you couldn't just bring this up. Well, no, because we also did a lot of clearings and stuff that we wouldn't have done if we had had this all clear up right away. Okay. So they kind of tricked us into clearing up stuff that needed to be cleared. Okay. So that's the way they work sometimes. It, it can be very frustrating sometimes. You feel like, come on, it's really painful to be human in this world. Aren't we past the really painful parts? Well, maybe the worst of it. We may be past the worst of it. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry, Witchy. Yikes. Yeah. Well, I hurt my back in an accident. Hurt my back, broke a bunch of ribs, and did some other damage. I basically was impaled on a steering wheel. My heart stopped. I had an out of body experience of the other side. Came back a different person, a different version of me, I found out. Finally, I think we've finally settled on it's actually a different version of me. And the old me died. Spondylolisthesis. Spondylolisthesis. Whoa. Hey, that's a mouthful, Witchy. Yikes. So, hmm. Oh, you were an ER tech, though. Jeez. Okay. Well, yeah, and a lot of us have been having stuff that goes back to the spine. Even Paul, he's got a terrible pain in his leg that goes back to his spine. I've got the what do they call it? Oh, the thing with the pinched nerve, and I forget what they call it. Goes down the leg and up into the back, and I have to have the place where my tailbone broke. Of course, there was a lot of damage to my first chakra, and I have been dealing with that for a long time and didn't know. My first and second chakra was damaged. Interestingly enough, being impaled by a steering wheel, it seemed like it did something to my heart chakra instead of damaging it. Just like it opened it. Um, you were in a wheelchair 3 months and chair for another 5 years. You have physical therapy. Okay, you've got horrific pain again. Pinched nerves. Okay. Um, yeah, this was so bad that it was like being stabbed. And it was so sudden and sharp that I almost fell on the floor while I was just trying to walk into the bathroom. Okay. I was just trying to make it to the bathroom in time and just was nearly thrown on the floor by it. And um, so when it recurred this time, and wow, it was very, very, very sharp. So, okay, is there any way that you can um, is there any way that you can improve your posture? Because when I did and I held myself to a good posture, I started, it took a little while. I started feeling better. That's when this pain started to go. And then it's still a little bit there and would still get me if I let myself slide out of good posture. It's teaching me to have better posture and not let myself get all crunched up because that isn't good. Um, and also, I'm going to be getting on the machine for lymph circulation. And you can also do something like it if you can stand to do some maybe on your feet, kind of on or on the edge of the stairs, kind of do a little bouncing up and down to get the lymph to move. Um, but the other thing is when I left sugar, refined sugar behind. Sugar is painful. Refined sugar is refined pain. It's pain. It will bring you pain. It is a poison. Refined sugar is a poison. It's a toxin. It will bring you pain. If you get pure, unrefined organic sugar, it will not affect you the same. Still not good to have too much of it, but it won't affect you the same way at all. But refined white sugar, it's literally a toxin that's in all kinds of food. And when they took out the refined white sugar, they put in other toxins. No wonder, you know, no wonder. Oh my goodness, yeah. During the end of perimenopause, me too. Oh yeah, broken tailbones. Yeah, mine was like when I was a kid. Oh wow, you're in school too. Yeah, I won't get a surgery. I won't get a surgery. Well, yeah, I am. I'm not taking the hardware. Nope, I'm not taking the Kool-Aid. Mhm. Yes, because there's never just one surgery, is there? No, no, it's never just one surgery. Never, never seems to be. Seems like they get you into surgery, and somehow there's always another surgery, always another surgery involved. Ah, oh, your internet is down. Yes, it does, dear. It really does. I know. I was in, I think I described the horrific pain I was in. Every time I moved in my joints, it felt like, broken glass. It was sugar. It was gluten. It was a combination of sugar and gluten and toxins. I started drinking the bone broth. I went off the gluten, went off the refined sugar. I went off a lot of things before that. I did a lot of things. Took the Zetox, which is a blood cleaner, and that helped. But then when I went off the refined sugar and the gluten, that really helped. And um, yep. And I find that I don't have very much trouble though with, um, I don't really have that much trouble with wheat if it's organic, which makes me think I figured this out. It's like, okay, we know that the non-organic stuff usually has a lot of glyphosate on it, especially grains. Now think about this. What does an adjuvant do in a, Jabberwocky? What does the adjuvant do? If you don't know what it does, is it riles up your immune system so that it'll fight whatever that adjuvant is with. Guess what? That's what Roundup and some of these other toxins do. Riles up your immune system. Then your immune system starts to fight whatever that's in there. That's why I think we're having such a problem with the gluten intolerance. Yes, I think that is the reason. It's, and maybe it's planned. I don't know. But what's happening is the Roundup is riling up your immune system. What it's in there with is the grain, the gluten. The gluten is sticky and sticks it to your insides, inside your bowel. It's so, and so you're going to get leaky bowel. And then the leaky bowel is, and the Roundup in your system is going to be like a Jabberwocky, uh, and get your immune system uh, overactive, which will give you all kinds of symptoms that they can treat. It's brilliant, really, if you're a psychopath. It's brilliant psychopathy. And if you think somebody didn't plan it, I have a I have a bridge I could sell you. But yep, I think it was planned. There's some of this that's too perfect. Too perfect. It's almost like the abomination itself that we went through for those years past. That thing, that it's too perfectly, it has too many symptoms. It has too much packed into it. Um, I don't, how could it? I mean, that was one of the first things I said. How, with all of that in it, how can it be natural? It can't possibly be natural. It can't have evolved that way naturally. That makes no sense. Okay, somebody made that. In the same way, I think this is the plan: is that you put something that acts like an adjuvant in to rile up the system. You make the system fight the very food that's keeping you alive. And then the person is sick all the time and has pain all the time. Yeah. When the system finally, when it's finally too much, you start busting out in symptoms. So, oh yeah, elderberry, 100% on purpose. I think it's 100% on purpose. I don't think there's any accident to it whatsoever. None. 100% a plan. Sorry, I do not give them the benefit. I do not give, from what I've seen, from what we've seen, especially in the last few years, I do not give these people the benefit of a doubt, if you can call them people. I don't give them the benefit of a doubt at all. They had nothing but bad intentions and greed in order to create something like this, in order to create a circumstance like this. And if you look at everything, you're seeing that it's been pretty cleverly calculated. It's hard to believe that it wasn't planned, that everything wasn't planned. So I'm sorry. It it's that hard to believe. I don't believe it then. You know, I disbelieve bullshit. I roll my, back in the old Dungeons and Dragons days, we had this saying. We thought the character in the game was shining us on. We'd roll for, instead of disbelief illusion, we called disbelief bullshit, and we'd make a roll. And and actually, I'm rolling a 20 on that. But yeah, disbelief bullshit. I don't believe. I don't believe all of that. Oh, it just happened to be it. No, it didn't. Nothing just happened. No, there was no coincidence at all in any of this. So, yep, 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 yes. All of our friends and family, all of us have friends and family murdered by these psychopaths. Witchy, do you want to try and come in and see if you can speak? But you're just choppy and filtering. Oh, oh, you mean like buffering? I'm sorry, Witchy Poo. I really want to give you your reading that you won too for naming the turkey Mr. Fuckit, which is Choctaw for turkey. I loved that. That was perfect. But yeah, you're right, Elderberry. Our friends and our family have been murdered. It is murder. It is premeditated murder. Yes, I believe it's very premeditated. I believe it's planned to the nth degree, in fact. It is no less than genocide. Okay, that's what it really is. So everything we can do to not go along with that plan. Unfortunately, we still have some choices. And we're on the upswing, not the downswing. There have been much darker times than these. And I think that was probably in the Middle Ages, because that's when the church was in full swing, when the Crusades and witch burnings and all that shit was in full swing. So we've come up a bit since then. Now it's more subtle. At least it's not as overt and official. I mean, back in those days, you could just kill somebody, and you know, and if you were royalty, you could just kill somebody without any explanation, without any, you don't need a reason. The emperors, Chinese emperors, line people up to test swords on, see how many people it would cut through, and then number the sword, grade the sword based on how many people it cut through in one swing, that kind of thing. That doesn't happen in most places anymore. That doesn't mean it isn't happening somewhere, but it doesn't happen. Here, you can't just round up a bunch of people and do that and have it be okay. However, it's more underground than that. It's something like that, but underground. That's ending, fortunately. Oh, yes. Crappy phone data, the internet down in 310 homes. Oh, I'm sorry, Witchy. Where are you, Witch Moon again? I keep forgetting. Are you one of the ones in Texas? Oh, dear. Yeah. So, we as humans, we here as posing as humans, because you know darn well that you came from somewhere else. We down here posing as humans, I don't think we have too much longer to go before things change. But it is changing. Texas. I knew it. Yeah, I thought so. Texas. Texas is having, oh wow, it's a real benighted place lately. Texas, I think, is being more or less attacked for being Texas. Lower the quality of the video. Maybe it helps. Okay, maybe it does. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to say that word, those letters. But yeah, they're literally, I think, probably paying people very good money to come up with plans to better milk us of all the funds that they possibly can while slowly but surely destroying it. And, people would say to me, why would somebody be doing that to you? Why would somebody be doing that? Why would people be doing this? Why would they be? Maybe they're not people. And when I say that, they think, oh, she's crazy because they don't know. But honestly, some of these people aren't people. And then others are people, but they've been promised things, right? Like idiots, they believe the promises. But you know what? With those kind of contracts, it's always like, I don't remember, I don't know. Oh, it was called the monkey's paw or the monkey's fist type um, wishes, where you get wishes, but they'd always somehow turn out evil. No matter how good you wished, the wishes would always turn out evil. It's like you want you wish for $1 million, and then somebody dies, and give you $1 million. But it's somebody that really would rather not have dead, that kind of thing. You inherit $1 million, or some other thing that it goes badly. So really, making deals with these things, it's always something like that. It's always some kind of monkey's fist um, kind of deal where no matter what you wish for, you're gonna get it, but not the way you want it. You know. So as far as these people and their contracts, I guess they don't really understand the extent of it until they go on a little farther with it. And then by the time they realize how it's really going down, it's too late. And they're entangled, and there's nothing much they can do except, you know, I think some of them have intentionally um, and probably paid a lot of money to do that. I think some of them have faked their own death. Yep. And I always wondered if John Kennedy Jr. did that because his wife hated the limelight and hated their fame, and there were people. I mean, can you imagine how it would be to live if people are constantly trying to kill you? I mean, he would have been more targeted than anybody. You know, he would have been one of the biggest targeted persons. It's very hard to live a targeted life. So what would you do? Maybe fake your own death. Maybe. Is that what happened? I don't know. A lot of people think he's alive. The other thing that could have happened is if he's starseed, maybe, maybe, um, what I hear is we can be translated upon death into another body. He could have another body. I guess they have the technology to do that if they want. So, and then, oh, I just realized too that this guy that I think has been practicing black magic for a long time, I was hearing about how the clones that are made, that are grown-up clones, because of the way they have to age them, they break down fairly quickly. If you're aging the clone up into um, a grown person and an older person, well, they're going to break down pretty quick. And I think that's what we're seeing in bought-in, bide in that case, is that the clone is breaking down really quickly because they had to artificially age it. And um, then, of course, that process is hard to stop once it starts. So he's just kind of falling apart. Um, and it's going to fall apart. That clone is going to fall apart. Anyway, so this character that I think is practicing black magic, I'm going to call him a character because he is a character, honestly. I can't imagine how he could be a real human being. He's such a cliche in so many ways, you know, he's a cliche. Um, and I noticed that, I mean, he's a 5-time loser. He goes to prison. Every time he comes out, he looks younger. How does that happen? He looks a lot younger. He looks like he's been on vacation. Now, this is the way they describe when the clone thing. What what they do is, because the clone ages and ages a little too fast, they have to keep taking that clone out and redoing it. Yeah, basically another clone. Here's a new clone, right? So they have to keep sliding them into another clone. And that they'll always be gone for a little while. And then when they come back from wherever they're gone from, they'll look a little younger for a while, but then they'll kind of slide into aging kind of fast. I think that's what we're seeing in a lot of cases, and I think that's what happened to this guy. Who's that, James Woods? What? Who's James Woods? I'm not sure who James Woods is. Oh, we were talking about JFK Jr. Yeah, a lot of people think he's alive. I keep getting that feeling too. But is it? And the cards could be confused, because people are getting very mixed messages about that. And it could be confusing because if his body died, then he's dead. He died. But if he's in another body, then he's alive. So he's dead and alive. He died, but he's alive in another body. So, wait, you know what? I'm going to ask that. Is it? Let's see if I got those cards here. Do I have them? The yes, no type cards? Yes, I do. That's what I'm going to ask. I might ask Pendulum. I got yes, no cards here. Something like that actually happened. Let's see if they give it to me kind of an insight. I mean, that is a scenario. Yeah. Yeah. Up card hopped out. Yes. And it's the lover's card. That's what happened. Well, this card deck seems to think that that is the answer to the enigma. Yes, he was translated out of his old body into another body, not a clone body, but another body. So his body did die. but his spirits, of course, is eternal, like everybody. And here's the card. And he was translated into what? Of course, he was a star child. He's probably on board one of the freaking ships. That's why you don't see him, and that's why he was safe. That's yeah, he'd be safer there and not constantly on the run, trying not to be killed, right? Not constantly TI. That's what happened to him. He's around, he's doing stuff, but he's not in the same body. So they could say he's dead, yeah. And they'd find a body. I don't know. I don't know, Skyfalls. Yeah, see, that's just it. And then there was another strange thing in the news. Somebody was being interviewed, and it was one of these celebrities, and she was kind of high. You could tell she was kind of high. And she said something about, oh, and they offered me the golden juice, but I didn't take it. I didn't want it. I didn't take it. I didn't want it. And the interviewer was going, golden juice? What's that? Oh, you know the golden juice. I can't say much about the golden juice, you know, though, don't you? You know, that kind of thing she was doing. But yeah, they offered it to me 3 times, but I wouldn't take it. I didn't want it. You know, this and that. And she was talking about what she was talking about. I was like, well, she was talking about some shit she should not be talking about, obviously, right? Hmm. And she said, you know, and you live forever, and you know, you got all of this, and blah blah. And then she goes, yeah, but I didn't want that stuff, and we shouldn't be talking about that. It's like you're so fucking stoned, you just did. I hope she's alive still. I hope she's not getting hurt for saying that, right? And she was offered it 3 times and wouldn't take it. Yep, exactly, Sky Falls. Does it hurt when you go into another body? Probably not. I don't know. I would think not, but except for the fact that I know when I guess it would depend. I know when I came back into my body, it wasn't pleasant. I came in, but my body had been in an accident. This body was in an accident, so that that wouldn't be pleasant necessarily. Um, would it? No, probably not really. I guess it would depend on how long you've been floating around before they put you in a body. I'm not sure. It might be different in different circumstances. Hey, I've got the magical unicorn cards and the spirit junkie cards. Anybody want a card of either deck? I'm gonna offer spirit junkie and magical unicorn. I'm unboxing these decks. They're pretty cool. So this is an unboxing. Okay. Like I said, I got these really, really freaking cheap. And do you want spirit junkie or magical unicorns or what do you want? Or one of each. I don't even care. There aren't that many people on tonight. I know you. We'll give you one of each. Since you're the only person going, me, me, me. Magic unicorns. Did I read your mind? I knew it was going to be magic unicorns. If you want the spirit junkie, I'll give you one of those too. Yes, see? Okay, dear. We'll get you too, elderberry. Let's see if anybody's going to fall out or if I have to cut the deck or what. Nobody's falling out right away. This is for Project Skyfall. For unicorns, magical unicorns, what can you tell Project Skyfall? It's going to be helpful. What does she need to know? What is your message? What is your message? Oh, unicorns. Water. Drink more water. Eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. And it is a picture of a mother and baby unicorn. There you go. Little unicorn. Water. So hydrate. And then the spirit junkie looks like those cards look like that. This is the, by the way, this is the backs of the unicorn. Oops, unicorn cards. And this is the backs of the spirit junkie cards. It's really pretty. What can you tell Project Skyfalls that she needs to know? What does she, what would help Project Skyfalls to know? Do, 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 do. When I'm tuned in to the energy of abundance, I become abundant. Ba-bum-bum. When I am tuned into the energy of abundance, I become abundant. Well, you could do abundance. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, James. No, I'm still doing it. I got to give elderberry a card. Do you want one or the other elderberry, or do you want one of each? Boom, 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 boom. Tell me which deck you want. You want the unicorns or the spirit junkie one? Magical unicorns or spirit junkie? Okay. Ba-bum, 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 ba. It's all about abundance. If you want to do abundance, shake it like this. Sure. One of each. How did I know? And then we got to do it for Witchy Poo too. And probably James is going to want one. And this is for elderberry. This is for elderberry. Do, 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 do. Let go of stress. Don't take on other people's stress. Breathe it out now. Come on. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty card. So, the unicorns want you to stop stressing out. Cut it out. Anyway, okay, that voice alone would stress you out, right? It's like, oh God, who's that? What kind of bitch was that? There you go. Card just kind of hopped out. I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. Okay, wait. I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. You say that really fast, you could get kind of tongue-tied. But anyway. Or probably, more simply said, finding things that you have in common lets us realize that we really are all one. Um, so look for commonalities instead of differences. Um, let's see. Witchy Poo, it's your turn now. This is for Witchy. What can Witchy benefit from knowing? What you want to tell her? True. Yes, what you're asking about is the truth. Do you have some kind of question in your mind? Something you're thinking or asking yourself or asking the universe about is the truth. Some kind of theory you have, perhaps, or whatever it is that you've been thinking about, it is true. Yes, you're right. You are correct. You win a prize. Yes. So, well, that's another good way to say it, Barry. Okay. Now, for Witchy, what is the spirit junkie deck gonna let us in on? Witchy's guides. What do you want to say to Witchy? Bom, 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 bom. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. My productivity stems from inspiration. When I focus on what brings me joy, my tasks become effortless actions. That's very true. So it is saying, focus on that. Focus on things that inspire you, and then it will be much easier to get by. Find a reason or a way to be inspired. Okay. Focus on what brings you joy. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, don't tell it. I don't know your hubby, so you're safe, you know, for now. Is Mr. Wonderful here? Yeah, Mr. Wonderful's back behind. He's hiding behind me. I guess he doesn't want to be on camera at this point. He's kind of hiding behind me. He's not been feeling too good, and cats, they have a tendency to kind of hide when they're not feeling good. He's been a little under the weather lately, but so have we all. So it's okay. He'll be better. He's just resting, just letting himself relax, and so he's just a little puddle over there. curled up next to a pillow, nice soft pillow. Yeah, yes, that's my little cowboy. Mr. Purrbox, you're just loving your life, huh? You're just enjoying yourself hanging out back there, laying against the pillow, waiting for me to rub your little white belly, fluffy, fluffy belly. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm glad that your puppy is feeling better. Yeah, a little cowboy was going through something. He he was obviously going through something where he didn't feel that great, but he's feeling better. Oh, so our animals are going through things too. I had to unstick my betta fish, one of my favorite bettas from some little cubby hole he tried to get himself in, and he lost some scales, but he lived. Now he's got stripes on his top and his bottom. He lost some where he lost some scales. Mm. Yeah, you know what? I do too. Music. Oh, I got something nice. Of course, I got it from Temu because it's the only place I can afford right now. You know, I can actually afford the stuff there. Um, I got some little bone phone. They don't fit in your ears. They just fit like there, and they're Bluetooth. So now I can walk around and I can walk around. I can just, walk around, have my music everywhere, and my neighbors don't have to hear it. I do. Well, thank you. Yeah, I guess I am hippied out tonight, aren't I? Thank you. And a beautiful hippie at that. Yeah, what is this? It's kind of a beret. I look like some kind of. It's kind of artsy, isn't it? Kind of an artsy hat. I look like I see if I can get it looking like I want it to look. I kind of like that. It has kitty cats all over it. Thank you. Yes, I really love this tie. I wear this so much. I wear this tie-dye thing so much. I love it. I I don't hardly take it off. I don't want to take it off. I hope nothing ever happens to it. I'll cry because I love the colors and I love the fact that it's tie-dye. I love all my tie-dye stuff. Nobody's gonna get me to give up my tie-dye. No way, man. My tie-dye and my you know, as a matter of fact, they've got on Temu, they've got bell bottoms. I'm gonna get a pair of bell bottoms at some point. I'm gonna get me a pair of bell bottoms. Yeah, that'll be cool. I haven't had a pair of bell bottoms in years. Yeah. What? Cheapskates give you half a tortilla. Half a tortilla? That's all you had? All I had was I had a turkey and ham and cheese sandwich and some bone broth. That was all I had today. And a few grapes. Oh, the strawberry cake was good. Good. Half a tortilla. That sucks. And a pack of crackers with a tortilla. Where do these people get these ideas? I do not get it. Can you ask for more? They won't bring you more? Ooh, ham and cheese. Ham and cheese is pretty good. Yellow Springs. No, I don't think so. Is the vegetable broth good? Is vegetable broth good? Well, I suppose what kind of vegetable broth, but I don't know why it wouldn't be. The thing about bone broth is it has a lot of collagen in it, which replaces the collagen in you. That's why the bone broth is so good. Now, I don't know. It depends on what kind of vegetable broth that can give you other benefits. But when you have something that's easy to digest and your stomach doesn't have to work too hard to digest it, and it's in liquid form like that, yeah, it's good for you. I mean, if it's as long as it's a healthy kind of thing. But yeah, one of the big things about bone broth is the collagen from the bones and joints. And then, of course, it has all the nutrients and it has it in a liquid form, which is very bioavailable and doesn't take any time to digest. So if you're not feeling good, or if you just don't want your stomach to be working all night, bone broth before bed is very nice. As a matter of fact, if I'm wanting something like after this show, um, I'll probably just have some bone broth and because it's light, it doesn't give me any problems to digest. It's very nutritious and it can be going to work, making me gorgeous. Collagen is what you want. You want collagen. Yeah, what about Yellow Springs? Oh, yeah, by the time you shorten your pants, the belts are gone. What you'd have to do is shorten them at the knee. You'd have to shorten them like up the thigh. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to look it up now. Ohio, though, it could be hours. I mean, there are some places in Ohio that are 6 hours away. But I'll have to look up where Yellow Springs is, see if it's anywhere near here. Oh, Antioch. Oh, okay. Yeah, Antioch is a big hippie place. It certainly is. Yes. Antioch College, of course. And then, of course, I always make the jokes. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. It's a Monty Python joke. You gotta watch out if you go to Antioch. You don't run into any Vorpal bunnies, right? Right, four dead in Ohio, you bet. That was where I am, Kent. Yes, I will never forget that day. None of us will ever forget that day that we're alive. Although they want us to forget that day, believe me. Kent State has done a lot to make us forget that, to try to get us to forget that day, to try and make it unfashionable to remember that day. But as long as there's any of us still alive, we're going to remember that day. Okay, we're going to remember it. So now, if they were smart, they would have done it differently. They would have rode with it, but they didn't do that. Instead, they were trying to make it, you know, like it never had. It like, oh, it's passe to think about that. It's like, no, it's not. No, people still observe it. Woodstock, yeah, that's another thing. Woodstock. Yes, that's the thing about bone broth. There's just something very primal about the bone broth. As it's very calm. It makes you calm. It's warm. It's a nice warm liquid. It warms your insides. It's easy to digest. It tastes good, and there's just something so comfortable about it. There's just something, just you drink some bone broth and you're like, ah, okay, okay, and you can kind of feel your body relax because it's getting nutrients, but it's not really having to digest anything much. It's like, oh yes, this is nice. This is really nice, and you're getting hydrated. It's like, oh yeah, and your joints are going, oh collagen, look, isn't that nice? You know, hey, Andy Groove. Oh, you have past like memories, days of that day. I have met people that have reincarnated from men. I met a young man who died. He was one of the ones. I forget who he said he was. I can't remember. Was he one of the ones that died, or was he just one of the ones that died, but not in the shooting? But he remembers those days. He remembers Vietnam. He remembers, the draft. He remembers Vietnam. He always would run around in the Vietnam clothes. He was like a ghost. Very handsome young man, but yeah, very old for his years. And he dressed like a soldier back from Vietnam and sounded like one. It was very interesting. So yeah, I've met people who are reincarnated from those times. Oh, Columbus, yeah, was nice at one point. Yeah. Well, it was about four young people that were going to college there, and some of them weren't even in the protest. It's like most people that got killed, most of my kids weren't even in the protest, they weren't doing anything, just heading for class or doing whatever, hanging out. I remember Columbus when it was nice. Yeah. Indie groove. Yep, tied out of sight and indie groove. That's what we used to say back in the old days. In 67, you were 7 in 67. I would have been, let's see, 10, I think. Right? Yeah, I would have been 10. Ah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Always bless your food. I always say, I bless this food to be healthy and wholesome, nutritious, delicious, perfect for my use in every way. And I bless every being that had a part in bringing me this wonderful meal. I feel that's another much better blessing. You know, the blessing I can never understand. Make us truly grateful for this food. What? You're so fucking lazy, you can't be grateful on your own for the food? You can't muster up enough, you can't muster up any feeling to be thankful for your food. You're asking, and actually, you're asking the universe to make you grateful for food. Wouldn't that mean like maybe that could be fulfilled in some very unfortunate ways, like not having enough food? Oh, then you'd be very grateful for your food, wouldn't you? I never understood that prayer. I always thought it was a really stupid prayer. James Ortiz, you want a card or two? I think I'm happy with these decks. I think I like them. I think they're pretty cool. Here's the picture on the front. Kind of hard to see, but it's a blonde chick, and her hair is kind of merging with the unicorn. Well, I was kind of young when it happened, but we all had skin in the game as far as friends, relatives, and we all had people being drafted. Yes, some people kind of count that the good old days, but honestly, I don't believe. It's funny. The good old days, what is that even? I don't know if we've had the good old days. Maybe we had some and they got usurped. But when I look back into history, the good old days, where the heck are they? Because there's always been something like, okay, well, there were some good things about the 60s, but we were growing up with, being told that we were going to die from a nuclear bomb. And if that wasn't going to happen, then pollution. Just like, Greater Thumbscrew likes to tell people, damn, that climate change shit isn't new. You know, it's just as much bullshit as it was then. You see, I don't know. As I get older, I look at it and I go, they've been running the same op for a long time. Yeah, the unicorns are really pretty. And these are pretty too. These are very colorful on the inside, but that's the outside. It's very hippie-ish in its own way. It's a very hippie deck. I guess it's very proper for me to be dressed like this with these cards. It's a very hippie-ish deck. So, my gosh, has it already been an hour and a half? Jeez. Jeez Louise. Already? Well, James Ortiz isn't saying he wants a card, so I'm not going to do that then. I might pull one for myself, though. I'll pull one for anybody else that wants one. I think they're pretty cool. I'm loving these new decks. I'm really loving the fact that I can get them for $3 or $4 a piece. Let's pull one for me from the Spirit Junkies. Okay, guides, universe, universal mind, whatever. What would it be very beneficial for me to know right now? Oh, I love it. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges, which is just what I'm talking about tonight. I was just talking about my back challenge. It was challenging, but there's always a reason, you know? So yeah, that is the way I see it, is um, somehow these challenges have something in it beneficial. Staff is armed. Your grandkids were telling you about them, and you went to play there, and there's a sign, staff is armed. What are we talking about, Witch Moon? I'm lost. I missed something, didn't I? No, I must have missed something. Either that or you chatted in the wrong chat box. Okay, okay, unicorns, what do you want to tell me? What would it benefit me to know right now? Okay, boom, boom, doo doo. Decide. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. I keep getting that. Decide, 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 decide. What do you want it to be? What do you want it to be about? What do you want it to be? What you want? What you want with the money and the honey that you want? That you want? Okay, nobody else in here wants the cards. I'm going to put them away now. I think you're going to see them on a reading night some night. We'll have the magical unicorns. Unicorns. Eyes are green alligators and long neck geese. Humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees. Cats and bats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you ain't gonna see no unicorn. Oh, the shooting drill. Yeah. You know, I got to see Crosby, Stills, and Nash up there on campus, on site, singing Ohio. Yeah, that was very memorable. We were doing the memorial thing in Crosby, Stills, Nash, like 20 years later. I think that was in the 90s. Yeah, it was in the 90s. Fordham, Ohio, live, where it happened. That was so historical. Glad I could be there for that. That was one of the coolest things. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, things have changed. Oh, things have sure changed, haven't they? You know what, though? They can say what they want about the hippie culture. We were expressive. Our clothes were our clothes were fun, you know, and expressive. And I mean, come on, very expressive. And if you're an artist, you know, why wouldn't you love that? It was such a artsy time. Yeah. Wow. Imagine that. Crosby, Stills, and Nash singing Ohio on site. Yes, I did see that. And that was cool and very trippy because you know what state of mind everybody was in. I tell you, everybody kept seeing in their heads, like looking over the hill and seeing a ghost reenactment. And I mean, they were like right on site. The hill where things were going on was right behind them. And it's like, whoa. And right behind them, I would look and I would see the reenacting over and over. It was, it was wild. Yep. What state of mind do you think we were in? Yeah. Yep. So, of course, we've all seen that replayed so many times. And if you're here in Kent, you're going to see that. It's just, it's permeated the whole society. What happened there and that no matter how they try, like I said, no matter how they try to stamp it out, they're not going to stamp it out as long as anybody's left alive or their kids or their grandkids, right? Because people are taking their kids and grandkids and explaining it all to them. So, and that's been how many years total now? I don't even remember. Wow. Yeah, artsy fartsy. Yeah. Middle Eastern Southwestern was very big, wasn't it? What you'd call Middle Eastern Southwestern. Some kind of strange conglomeration of Middle Eastern garb with Southwestern, two, both kinds of Indian, actually. India and then New World Indian and Old World Indian. New Old World Indian. Yeah. So, you know, it it could have been great. I mean, it was on the verge of being so good. I mean, the music was so good. It was so, it was getting very spiritual. It was getting very soulful. It was, there were some things about those times that were so good. But the thing is the war and the draft. And, there were other things. I mean, like I said, we had these drills for the bomb that honest to God would not save your ass because, um, you know, what they had to duck and cover is not going to save you from atomic anything. That's not going to do it for you. So it's just bullshit. Peace pot microdot. Yeah, that's exactly. Yep. Yes. Well, there's a rose in a fisted glove, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. Yeah. And I used to sing all those old hippie songs, theme to Woodstock, and I used to play them on especially on that day. It was easy to get tips for that kind of music, for old hippie music, and people would want me to come to their parties, May 4th parties, and sing old hippie songs. Of course, everybody wanted a blonde folk singer in their yard, right? Some long-haired hippie-ish blonde folk singer. That was atmospheric, and I knew that. I got caught though in the middle of a reenaction, and people didn't know they had something like a reenaction every year. Now this is a strange thing about Kent because in the spring, around May 4th, I called that tear gas season. Why? Because there was tear gas in the air. Yep. Yeah, the nag and patchouli. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely patchouli. Patchouli everywhere. Everything smelled like patchouli and naga. Like champa. Yeah. Yep. And yeah, it's funny because head shops always had that particular smell. There's a certain smell they all had, right? Uh-huh. Well, what they would do here every year is they'd be having parties on Fraternity Row, right? And the um, the riot squad would dress up and they would march up and down, keeping the peace all over the place, and do absolutely nothing. People would be doing whatever they wanted out in their front yards, drinking, whatever, having their parties. But then they'd tell everybody, they'd start announcing with a bullhorn right around 12 o'clock. It's like, it's time to clear out. Everybody go in your homes and stop the parties, go home or go home. And because there's a curfew. And then people would not believe them and still be out. And that's when they would have the, they called them rubber bullets, but they were actually wooden. That's when the wooden bullets and the pepper gas, little pepper gas grenades would come out. And the air would be filled with pepper gas, and there would be wooden bullets all over the place. And the next day, students would go out and pick up the wooden bullets as mementos, and sometimes unspent pepper gas containers, pepper gas grenades. And they would take them home, and that was the biggest prize, right? And they would take them home as um, souvenirs. And they would do this every year. It was every year. You haven't lived until you got caught in a pepper gas and wooden bullet storm, basically. Oh, but it used to do so much harm to my voice. I couldn't talk the whole next day, and maybe for 2 days I could barely chirp, right? But somehow I could sing. But I sang real husky. So I did a lot of Janis Joplin, and I was pretty good at it. So yeah, you might not just be, and some days you wouldn't be smelling the neg champa and the patchouli, you'd be smelling the pepper gas spray. Yep. Yeah, they do the same thing at the townhouses whenever the townhouses had their party, their graduation party, their May 4th party, whatever it was they were having. Oh, really? Wild berry in Oxford, Ohio. Huh. Wow. What part of Ohio is Oxford in? I don't even know. I, I'm American. I don't know anything about geography much. Oxford. Huh? Yeah, we have abundance of head shops in Kent. We have, let's see, one, and now we have mood shops, which are probably going to get switched over to marijuana at some point because marijuana just got legalized on the 7th. It's going to be official. So finally, after 50 years, of course, most people in Kent have, you know, most people in Kent have already haven't been waiting for that. But it's nice that you can't get, no longer get in trouble for it because people were still getting arrested for it here and there. But actually, I miss the drum circles. We had drum circles. Wow, that was fun. Good exercise too. Drum circles were great, especially in the winter. They warm you up really fast. You warm up with the drum circles, and the drum circles were very spiritual. And people would just be dancing and leaping into the air, and it was crazy. It was really a lot of fun. I don't know where everyone is tonight. I was wondering that myself. I got the notification out a little late, but not real late, so I don't know. Like, where is Chloe? Where is the Count and Countess? Where is where is Scate and Chloe? Chloe is probably well, she's probably at work, but oh, now you order online. Okay. Yeah, let's see. We have one, just that I know off the top of my head. One, two, three. We have three just right around here. Within like 5 minutes of here, we have three head shops. Maybe four. I think there's another one down in Black Squirrel Alley. No, I can't remember. But yeah, we got head shops all over the place up here. I worked for one of the really really big ones. It wasn't really called a head shop. It wasn't really exactly that, but it was called um, Earth Tones, and they had all the metaphysical stuff, and then of course the head shoppy type stuff because the owners were old hippies, and I was a psychic, and we sold crystals and stuff, and interesting hippie clothing and books and um, um, it wasn't exactly a head shop because we didn't have much of the stuff that you call paraphernalia, but it was more of a hippie shop, hippie magic supply. You know what? Drum circles are great. I had to, I got so lonely for drum circles that I had to start one in town. I had to start a drum circle group in town because the energy's so good, you know. We had it at a bar and grill down there, and we'd eat and we'd drum, we'd drink a little and we'd drum, go out back, smoke a little and we'd drum, and those were the days. Those were the days. Gene Stapleton. You have a hand drum you painted? Yeah, you know what? Somebody made me a drum. It was wonderful. It was a djembe type drum, and I loved it. It was very nice that he made it for me. So kind of him. And it got killed. Ah, it's a mall now. Earthbound. Yeah, Earth Tones is the name of it. Earth Tones. Earth Tones, yeah, I remember telling her about the singing crystal bowls, and at first she was going, no, they're too expensive, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's going to buy them, blah, blah, blah. Then she made a name for herself playing the bowls. She found out that I was right again. You know, when I tell you something would be a hit for you, you should listen because I'm right. When I say, you should try this, when people finally try it and do it, then they're successful. But usually they don't believe me at first. Yeah. Beautiful tapestries. You know what? I have some beautiful ones myself. I love, I love putting tapestries on the wall. What? Oh no, I just inhaled a gnat. It is extremely tiny gnats. Hang on. Very, very tiny. I've been killing them while I'm talking to you. They're just tiny, 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 so tiny, like a pinhead. Almost microscopic, right? And I can't figure out where they're coming from. And there's only one or two, there's one now. And they're so tiny that it's very easy to breathe them in. Oh, Lord. Anyway, yeah, I have to say, we had we had some cool stuff. Like, oh, we had some really cool stuff in Columbus. I used to love Columbus. I used to go down to Columbus and visit my friends in Columbus and go down to um, a science fiction con that was down there. And it was a lot of fun and visit my friends down there. And you could eat at a different nationality restaurant every night if you wanted, and you had the money. They had some wonderful restaurants. They had some really cool shops, and then they had the stage where all of these bands would play. And now, and you know what? I intended that Kent become more like Columbus, and it did. Kent is now more like Columbus used to be with Kent stage and all the little shops and stuff. It did finally become more like Columbus used to be, but a small, like a tiny version of Columbus. So, of like it was in the old days. Yeah, me too. I've got a tapestry up as my curtain right now in the front room. That's exactly what I did. You know, and on Temu they have curtains that look like tapestries that they're printed like that. I love them. I'm going to get a set at some point. But you know, it's not something I really need that bad, so I'm kind of holding off because there are some things that I need kind of more than that. But yeah, they have some really cool curtains that, you know, look like some of them look like something else, like a scene from one of those tapestries. I'm considering ordering some of the tapestries to make clothes out of, make some kind of a hippie robe out of, like a caftan, because some of them would be great for that. God, that little bug really gave my throat the fits. Really did not like that. Wow, that was a long time ago. I I miss it. Okay, how about that? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be one of those people that lets you go. You're driving me and the cat both crazy. So I'm sorry, but you guys are going to have to die so that we can live. It's my right. My right as a creature. Fight back. Look at how you're choking me. See? Chloe! There's Chloe. So we did manage to summon Chloe. Oh, you were surfing channels. Yeah, I was asking if you wanted a card. I was wondering why you didn't answer. Yeah, little cowboy, he's snoozing behind me. He doesn't want to be in the limelight right now. He's kind of withdrawing from public life a little bit. Count and Countess is here. Now the party can really start. I got, damn, I inhaled this tiny microscopic gnat and it just still bothering my throat. Damn, I hope it wasn't one of those Monsanto flies. Damn. Yeah, that was nasty. Yeah, he's working on getting the gold for his world champion snoozing contest that he's trying out for. Okay. Um, I just explained it. it's better. And I got a message about it. Basically, scroll, but you can wind back to find out. I went into depth, but um, it comes down to a couple of things. One of them is posture and me not being mindful enough to stretch out after doing all this work, looking down. It's like me needing to stretch my body out. That was one. Well, there was all kinds of things actually, and um, the other one was, oh gosh, I don't even remember now. But anyway, yeah, I'm beginning to figure out what was doing it. I, uh, I was doing things to undo that. I got on my, oh yes, to drain my lymph glands. I got on my um, platform, my shaking platform that I got specifically for that purpose to drain the lymph glands because I have that issue. I've had that issue for years. So, yep. And so, and then working on my posture, trying to remind myself not to bend forward. And to bend backwards a little bit to make up for bending forwards all that time because apparently, according to this one video saw, it fucks you up to bend forward all the time like we do all the time working on stuff. Fucks your body up. You're slumping too much, yeah. So a lot of it, and you know what? As soon as I straightened my posture up and did some back stretches, backward stretches, it started easing up. And then I had to take pain pills. And while it was like that, I got up on the machine because it was so harsh. It was like being stabbed, and it was practically throwing me on the floor. So while the pain was knocked out, I got up on the vibrating platform and shook myself for about 10 minutes, and that seemed to help too, because that will drain the swelling. So, yep, back like that. Arch your back that way. And for a while, if you're having problems, avoid, as much as possible, looking down, crouching over, etc. And the more you stay away from that, the less pain you're in. It started working almost right away. So, and what fell out was, isn't that cute? Best friends, true friends stick together no matter what. It just fell out of the deck. That's cute. Okay, so we need a card for James Ortiz, unicorns. Green alligators along the beach. Humpyback camels and chimpanzees. Cats and rats and elephants, but soon as you're born, there ain't gonna be no unicorn. This is for James. Share. When you share, everyone feels happy. Share. Not Sunny and Cher, but just Cher. Okay. See, this is what the backs of the cards look like. It's really pretty. And then Spirit Junkie. See, I put these cards away twice now. Maybe I'll just leave them out in case somebody else comes in and decides they want a reading. This is for James. 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 Ooh, today I consciously choose to think loving thoughts, take compassionate actions, and bring forth peaceful energy. It's a really pretty card with the little pretty flowers. And these are definitely hippie cards. You want a couple cards, Chloe? Ah, that's cool, James. Okay, this is for Chloe. Yeah. What did I just do? What did I just do? That was silly. It was very silly. I tried to shuffle both decks. I had one deck sitting on top of the other. I tried to just pick them up both and shuffle. That isn't going to work. I don't know. Maybe it will, though. Ooh, Chloe. I am ready to go big. Rise up and step into my power. Are you ready? Are you ready? Remember? But I'm ready to learn. But I'm ready to learn. I don't know who that was. I forget who did that song. Oh, there's two cards. Wait, there's another card under there. I celebrate all the greatness in my life. Ooh, okay. What do the unicorns have to say? There's Michelle. Michelle Canham Freebird. Michelle Canham and Freebird. Whoa. You got two of these too. Shoot. They both just fell up. Finish what you've started. You started something important, and now it's time to complete it. And the other one says, talk about your feelings. Tell a friend how you feel. Oh, here we are. There you go. Both times she has two cards fall out. Geez, who did you bribe? Huh? What'd you bribe, Chloe? Okay. Now I already know. Michelle Canham Free wants a card from each deck. See, because I'm psychic. That's right. You're the counting countess. And they knew you were, so two of them fell out at a time. So this is for Michelle. There you go too, Michelle. I celebrate all the greatness in my life. I shuffle those pretty good, so that must be a good card for tonight. I celebrate. I got it too. I celebrate all the greatness. Actually, I do. I actually do celebrate it. Oh, well, you holding me up? You holding me up? Now I'm gonna have to give everybody else another one. Okay, if you insist. It's the same fucking card. Now can I go? Thank you. This is what they want to tell her. Celebrate the greatness in my life. That is her message. That's what they want to tell her. It flipped out again. It flipped out twice. So that is a big message. I really want you to know that. Here's the unicorns. Here goes the unicorns. What do the unicorns have to say to Michelle? Unicorns. Exercise. Run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. Move your body tonight. Run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. So, and it's unicorn walking through a very pretty place. I'd say take a little hike. Take a little trip. Take a little trip. I'm in a mood tonight. My back is feeling better. Take a little trip. Low rider doesn't use much gas now. Low rider doesn't move too fast now. Mm. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, now that I got these, I can pair them with my phone. I can just dance all over the house. I can just walk around the house and play it loud, not bother the neighbors. Yes, I'm glad to. Well, that's part of why I'm in here. Part of why I do this. We star seeds, we need that shit. Okay? We need each other. We need time with each other. We need time around people like us, understanding types, people who understand us. I'm glad you feel better. Like I was saying earlier, people that we don't have to explain shit to because they know. Don't have to explain everything. We can just talk. It's nice for a change. Because when you try to talk to normal people, they just look at you like you got three heads. Or you have to explain everything. If they're open-minded, you still have to explain everything because, and trying to catch them up with everything is just like, oh my God, I don't think I have enough lives left to catch you up as far behind as you are. Yes, we are. Do 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 do. They call me Mr. Fahrenheit, traveling at the speed of light. Don't stop me! Don't stop me! Don't stop. That was Freddie. I'll make a supersonic woman of you. Hey, Blind Neil, how you doing? You missed all the hippie talk. Where you been? You missed the hippie talk. I was just talking about May 4th here in Kent, Ohio, and all the hippie stuff. We were going back to the hippie days. You missed it, man. And I have a feeling that you would like that. On a smoke stream. Smoke stream. I don't know what a smoke stream is, but okay. Or do I? Maybe I do. Yeah, we were just talking about it. I got to see Crosby, Stills, and Nash sing Ohio on the site of the shootings. That was in my town, right up the street. I got to see him sing that song right on the site. Yep, that was one of the coolest concerts, really. One of the most historic concerts I ever went to. Oh, you live puff. Gotcha. Well, very soon that will be fully legal in Ohio, and well, at least in Kent. We've been trying to get that for 50 years. I remember protesting for that. Demonstrating, yeah, demonstrating for to get it to be illegal, to legalize it. Yeah, back in the olden days, long time ago, where the bottoms of my jeans was bigger than the tops of my jeans. Well, I can expect it would. Oh yeah, yeah, John uses it all the time too. Yeah, you guys in Canada. Yep. It sure is nice. Yeah, it's legal in Michigan too. My friend Jim and I, it's legal over there. So she grows some. So she's had it that way for a while. Now we finally got it. And finally now, we'll see what it does because really this is hippie land here. There are many, many old hippies settled here. Many old original hippies. Hmm. Oh, a lot of us still wear bell bottoms. I just bought a pair, I just bought a suit of those like elephant bells, a real hippie-ish. I have to show you one day, but it's a very hippie-ish outfit. It's in army green, and it's one of those big, loose, baggy with the very wide legs hippie wear. And I do have some. They're not quite bells though. They're boots. They're more like boot cut, but flares maybe. But I'm gonna get some bell bottoms. I found bell bottoms on TV, and I'm gonna get some. In Texas, ah, I love me my tie dye. Oh, I had the coolest bell bottoms in high school. I had some really cool bell bottoms in high school. And actually, they were, but the bell bottoms that I liked the best weren't even jeans, but they were sort of a blue-green color, a really pretty blue-green color, kind of an ocean green, maybe, you know, and really wide bells. I looked so sharp. And platform heels, of course. You actually needed the platform heels for the bell bottoms. Some of the bell bottom, because you wanted your bells extra long and extra wide. And so the longer they were, the wider they were. So you wanted them extra wide, then you had to wear platform heels so that you could have really, really wide, long jeans. Hmm, yeah, most of mine are boot cut right now. I don't think I have any of those peg leg ones, those skinny jeans. Ugh. Yeah, I can't stand the look of skinny jeans. Back in my time, skinny jeans were what, I mean, it was like a loser style. It was your mom dresses you funny style. It was like one of those guys that come in, it was one of those guys that would um get teased because I mean, just I think they're unflattering, but some people think they're just all that. I hate skinny jeans. Yeah, me too. I I wear mostly boot cuts. And of course, I'm a little older now, so I want the stretchy kind, stretch jeans. Have a little bit of spandex and just a little, you know, so that they don't give me a problem behind me at the top. But I thank God for stretch spandex. It's so comfy. Anyway, so yeah, and I have another pair of real hippie-ish pants over there. I'm gonna have to wear one day. They're like abstract art painted. They're like an abstract art painting. They are absolutely so boho. Yeah, I guess it's boho, what they call boho. That's what we wore. That was our clothes. It was just standard dress, boho. Boho. Just no sitting down. Oh, there you go. Yeah. The skinny jean, I don't know. Even on skinny people, they look odd to me. So I mean, skinny jeans are for skinny people, really, and they look kind of odd on. But to me, they look odd on everybody. They don't quite look right on anybody. To me, they're like some attempt by jeans to be leggings. If you're going to do that, you might as well just get yourself some jeggings. You know, yeah. Oh, our clothes. Yes, our clothes. Yeah, you know what? I really loved going to the pagan clothing optional places because I could wear a basically one of those tapestries. It was something like that that people wore at those things. We would wear these little tapestries, but we were, they were like a serape. You just wrap it around yourself and tie it at the shoulder, and that was what you wore to those things. And yeah, so basically yeah, it was nice. It was relaxing, but it was funny because when you first get there, Neil wouldn't know about this part because he's blind, Neil. But when you first get there, they'll be like, the naked people doesn't register yet. And I remember the first time I went, there was this woman, and my mind is saying she had a tan colored bodysuit on and a hat and high heels and a bag. But no, she was just naked. And, it took my mind a bit because she was tan all over. It took my mind a few minutes to realize, oh, she was just naked, that's all. Oh, yeah, that's right. We can get naked here. It's cool. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. But there was one guy, I was a vendor, and my friend Mark used to go to those places too. I talked him into going down there, and he just found out he loved them. But there was this one guy that he was tall, and he would always be completely naked, and he would have his kids with him, which was very, I don't know, there was something kind of oddly unsettling about the way that he would kind of look at things, and then he'd kind of drag his, when he would bend over to look at something, he would kind of drag his member across your merchandise before moving on. And it was like, uh, fella, could you kind of, what are you doing? Marking it? Scent marking it? What's up with that? So, no, it was kind of weird. It was a little weird, but uh, but everything was cool at these places. I mean, people would expect them to be really wild and crazy, but you know what? It was so funny. I guess in some ways, to some people, they would be wild and crazy. It would be wild and crazy. But, to me, it felt so normal. And I remember hearing this beautiful harmony, Crosby, Stills, and Nash harmony, coming from somewhere. And it was like a chorus singing Southern Cross. And here it was, 24 hippies in a three-person tent or something, singing Southern Cross. It was a small tent. It's only maybe a four-person tent, maybe four, yeah, like a four-person tent. 24 hippies. 24 hippies. So what did 24 naked hippies in a four-person tent do? Well, anything. Southern Cross in perfect harmony, of course. What else would they be doing in there, right? That was so, it's like, well, it was a surreal time. It was surreal. Yep. You heard what last night is my stream wrap. Ah, so yeah, that was interesting. And yeah. So basically, yeah, that it was and that was the place where we had drum circles every night. The drums would not quit until morning. When it started to get dawn, the drums would finally stop. But I never had any trouble sleeping. As a matter of fact, nobody ever had any trouble sleeping through the drums. Nobody ever complained that, oh, they're drumming all night, I couldn't sleep. Nobody ever did. For some reason, it was very comforting. You'd drum until you were so tired you'd go to sleep and dance, and then you'd just fall asleep. And then about 5 o'clock, you'd wake up, 5, 6 o'clock, you go, oh, the drums have stopped. Because they'd give up, eventually the last people would give up around 5 in the morning or 6. That was fun. And it didn't matter where you went, there were drums somewhere. There was a drum circle somewhere. It didn't matter. It was great. Yeah, the ganja. Yeah, the ganja was pretty free flowing. And the ganja and the drink and the ganja, the alcohol, and whatever else. Um, but really, there wasn't as much as you'd think. I mean, it wasn't as pervasive as you think because people were just walking around kind of happy, just naturally kind of happy because it was such a relaxing place where there were seminars and classes and different stuff. I mean, the meaning of shells, the meaning of stones, the weaving, tatting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all kinds of weird, just talking about spiritual stuff and talking about magical stuff and talking about some of it was just clothing, how to make the hippie clothes and stuff and and just people expressing and very expressive. When they were wearing clothes, they were in expressive clothes. It was very expressive, just like in the 60s. It was extremely expressive clothing. And and nobody gave a damn as long as you weren't hurting anybody. Nobody gave a damn what you did. It was it was great. And if you haven't experienced something like that, that's what I said. I wish you could experience something like that because it's nice. You don't want to go home. You don't want to go home because you're in tents. Everybody's in a tent of some sort, except I guess some people brought their campers. But you're outside all the time talking to people. Maybe you're in a tent, you're eating in a tent or out at a campfire. There's drum circles everywhere. There's people, there's vendors with all their colorful stuff. There's people walking around in creative and colorful stuff, even if they're not wearing clothing. Some of those costumes are still pretty colorful. Maybe they're wearing very colorful hat or something, or have interesting stuff in their dreads. It's just the vendors are all, you know, the vendors are all pretty cool and watch each other's tables and stuff. And there isn't much crime. As a matter of fact, most of them there's no crime, almost to speak of. A little like petty theft, something like that, but really not much crime to speak of at these things. So, you know, really good food. The food carts were always good. They always had this Mediterranean place that was really good. It's a Mediterranean food. Man, I ate that stuff all the time. I was living on Mediterranean food while I was there. Uh, Concentrates. What do you mean by concentrates? Andrea, hello, baby. How you doing? Woo, 11:11. And I wish that we all get together and maybe make a place where we can live like that all the time. Live in this happy sort of camaraderie with, I still have my dreams of a sustainable community for star seeds and magical types like us. That would be cool. With a broken, its ankles. Weird. Oh, extracts, oils, resins. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Most of the people I know, they've got their supplements. Yeah. Well, maybe we can get that. Intend it, Witchy. Let's intend that somehow Texas gets it. Let's just intend that. Okay, everybody intend that Texas gets it. Gets that. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Somehow or other. Ankle. See, ankle. You know what? I've had a broken ankle 5 times. Here's something I found out, and it's kind of gross, so don't freak out when I tell you this. But because my ankles seem to be permanently swollen, right? I got all the swelling down, except it's very hard to get it out of my ankles. Here's something I found out. When they nailed people to a cross, they would nail it through your ankle bone. Not there was no little platform or anything. They nail it through your ankle. They nail it through your ankle bone to make sure you didn't come off, and to make sure that you were in the most pain. Okay, the most pain you could possibly be in, and through your wrist. So it was for max effect. And I think probably those of us who've had problems with our ankles in this life, probably, I mean, crucifixion wasn't unusual, wasn't anything unusual at all. Many, 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 many people got crucified. Many. People act like it was such a big service, it was so unusual. It was typical. It was, they used that all the time to kill people. It was their creative little wizardy way of killing people with the most effect, right? So I really think that some of our ankle issues, and you know, they go back to that time. I guess the only proof that they have that the crucifixion happened was a rusty nail in an ankle bone. I heard that recently. It's like ankles, my ankles. 5 times I've had both of them broken twice, and then spare time on this side. And they still hurt sometimes. When the air pressure changes, they still hurt. So I'm thinking that'll be another thing I need to get rid of. That'll be another thing I'm working on getting rid of. Yeah, Andrea, you want a couple of cards? How about you, Blind Neil? I've got the unicorn deck, magical unicorns and spirit junkie. I'm unboxing these two decks. I think I'm going to be psychic and say Andrea wants a couple of cards. I'm just going to start shuffling. Yes. Okay, first the spirit junkie deck, the back of which looks like this. Okay. Well, that card just popped out, so I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. Ooh, that's cool, Andrea. And now, what do the magical unicorns have to say to Andrea? What would be helpful for her to know? Okay, that's a little weird. Okay, and imagine, what would you see, feel, think, and hear if your wish came true? Ooh, imagine. That's a very John Lennon-y card. Imagine there's no country. It ain't so hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine. Hey, Blind Neil, you want a couple cards? Might as well while you're here, unless you took off already. Okay. Your wish would be to pay off your expenses, huh? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, okay. Ah. Well, unless Scott Hay comes along, or somebody that. Where is Mark the Archspark? Where in the heck did Mark Archspark go? And where did Scott Hay go? The pantless one. You know what? He would probably love the pagan gathering. That would be Scotty's place, right? or yeah, Big Justin. But yeah, that would be Scotty's place. Would be he probably we couldn't get him to leave though. Getting him to leave would be the hard part. That would be Scotty running around. Well, actually, there were a lot of guys there that wore sarongs and that wore no pants. So we'd have to tease him. What, Scotty? Went off the deep end. In what way? Yeah, I haven't seen Scotty here. That's sad. Something happened to Scotty, maybe. Or it could just be that he's left me for another chat. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Ah, okay. Maybe we can talk later if you think he wouldn't mind. I'd kind of like to know. He's my friend too. Can you call him? I mean, is he callable? Hmm. Well, there's a lot going on in his homeland right now, so can hardly blame people for that. Like I said, it's really difficult when it's not easy being green. It's not easy being us. You know, it's complicated sometimes. Oh, eh? B? Ah, Sabi's here, eh? Free beaming. Hola, amigos, amigas. Uh, oh, oh, by somebody in here? By somebody in here? Oh, oh dear. Everywhere. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. I told you. A lot of the light workers under attack right now. The healers, light workers. There's a lot going on. If you're not really protecting yourself, you can get smacked. Yeah. I had to regrid my place. I just got a bundle of selenite to regrid the place, and now I'm feeling better. But yeah, it's been rough. All the spiritual warriors got to protect themselves right now. It's the last hurrah, and they're heading for the last roundup, though. They got to know. It ain't going to be that much longer. Okay, well, Neil, just so you know, We're mostly a bunch of starseeds, hippies, and magical people. But you're welcome here anytime. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful night too. You too. You too, Blind Neil. And good luck with your channel, which I didn't even know I was subscribed to somehow. But that's cool. I probably would subscribe if you happen by. I would probably subscribe. I subscribe to almost everybody that's been through here, so I think I got unsubscribed to everybody. I don't know. Try to. Anyway, it's important to find your tribe. It's important to find your proper tribe. It really is. Tribe of people that you can just be yourself with. That's what I think I've been talking about all night. Is what is that like? I've had it from time to time, but only just temporarily. It's always been temporary. I would like to just have it that way, without all of the strangeness, without having to come home from it, where it would be home. And I wouldn't have to come home from it. I would never have to go home from it. I would just be among my people. I would just be among my tribe. I wouldn't have to leave again. But at least I know what it feels like. Yeah. When we finally kick all that stuff, we do need a big old party. It's coming. It's a coming. They're getting squeezed. They're really getting squeezed. So there's going to be a lot of acting out. But you notice it's not huge things, it's a bunch of small shit. The huge things aren't working out, but they do a bunch of small shits, smaller shit. Just enough to drive everybody crazy. And, it's hurtful. But, I mean, yeah, they killed my plants and some of my fish, and were hurting my kitty cat and me, breaking things. And they're really trying to break up where I caught them. But we we booted them. So, yep, good energy here. We all kind of support each other, keep each other's spirits up. That's that's a very proud thing for me. I'm very proud of the channel in that regard. Very family like. We keep each other's spirits up. We help each other survive the matrix. That's good. Oh my gosh, I've been 3 hours. I better start to wrap it up because I do need to rest my back because it's been bad. So I don't want to be on too much longer, folks. I want to be able to get up and do something without screaming. But yeah, we need to have a big party. What? Wait a minute. What? Something appeared after him? Okay, you guys. We're I'm going to need some info. What the hell's going on? You too, honey. You too, Witchy, and we still got to get you your reading. What? When was this? When did this happen? To Scotty. When it happened? I mean, did it happen? I mean, why do you guys know? Why do you guys all know? Did it happen on John's show or something? Oh, it's been happening. Oh, so it's been a while. Okay, gotcha. Maybe he feels TI. Okay, yeah, that's rough. Well, if he needs help, let him know if you see him. We'll try and help him right here. Okay, okay, yeah, we'll try and help him if he wants. Mary wins, hey. Yeah, I gotta stay on a little bit longer because now the late night people are coming in. I'll tell you what, I'll stay on until 12 here and no later than that. It's 3.5 hours, a little over. Mary wins. How are you? I I still want to know more about the tinsel rings. When are we going to be able to order those from you, Mary? It's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light. Though the day is gray and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright. So, Mary, I got 2 new card decks. I'm thinking you probably want one of each, right? Yeah, I want a tinsel ring. I got one of the devices made that John was talking about. I got it attached to my glasses. The next device I make is going to be on my little headset here. Right. Okay, magical unicorns. What does Mary need to know right now? What would be beneficial for her to know? What is your message for Mary? Teamwork. Work with others to make the situation come about. That's the back of the card. Here's your card, and let's see. Then the spirit junkie card. Okay, this is for Mary. What do the spirit junkie cards have to give? What is the message for Mary tonight that would benefit her? Cards are sticking together. Well, that's togetherness. Stick together. Oh, there it is again. I celebrate all the greatness in my life. That keeps coming up. Wow. I guess we are supposed to be celebrating, folks. We need to have a celebration. Did I get B. Freeman? Did I get Free Beeman? Did I get him his cards? Did he want cards? Okay, Witchy. I'm glad you're feeling a little better. I'm glad we could make you feel a little bit better there, honey. Big hug, dream well, and dream big. Yes, we love you, Witchy. I've got a piece of selenite on a string now. I got a selenite necklace, and it's pretty nice. It's real simple, just a chunk of selenite with a string on it, but I like it. Really fond of selenite. B, did I read your cards? I can't even remember. Wow, it must be time for me. It's just about time for me to close. I can't remember if I read Mary's cards. I can't remember if I read B. Freeman's cards. I can't even remember what I was thinking 5 minutes ago. What the heck? I must be tired. Angie, Angie. I don't think I read Mary. Did I read Mary Wins? Yes, I did. God, what is going on with me? Wow, it's just like something came along and just, whoosh, you know? Yeah, it's probably about time for me. Weird, isn't it? Well, I have them sitting here. Maybe they're on top. Yeah, teamwork. I did read them. Teamwork. Work with others to make the situation come about. Now I remember. And that's the back. Yeah, I did read them. Wow, that's weird. That was like something just came and just went whoosh and just wiped away the last 3 hours. What the heck was I talking about? Oh, and I just accidentally Mix the cards up again. Oh, yeah. I celebrate all the greatness in my life. That's what it was. Well, several of us got that card. Wow, that was weird, wasn't it? Yeah, I am feeling kind of weird right now. Poor Scotty. I'm glad you said something, though. I'll send him some help if he wants some help. I think we all need some help during these times. Yes, we have some great stuff going on in our lives, but yeah, there is something going on. It feels like a tide of something. It feels like something is going through me. It's nice though. It's nice. It's relaxing, whatever it is. It's like water. It's like water. Oh, well, thank you. I love you too. Wonder where Dark Meadow went. Dark isn't here tonight. We don't have our usual complement of Ben. Yeah, it's just like waves of something. I'll probably find out that something was going on tonight, but yeah, it's like waves, but I'm still breathing. It almost feels like water, but I'm still breathing. Cool. Mm. 3:13. I've been on for 3 hours and 13 minutes. Wow, a long time. You know, yeah, I'm very grateful that I can do this. I'm very, this is part of the greatness right here. This is part of the teamwork. Hmm. Yeah, I think we did a lot of swimming back where we come from. I think we were mostly in the water. We played in the water a lot, swam around, and the water was light, not heavy like here. It was light and sparkly. It was all a lot lighter. Well, right, that's true. That's true, it would. I don't think we worried too much about clothes except at certain times. I don't think we wore very much or cared. I seem to recall something sort of like silk robes. Actually, I think we dressed probably a lot like we did at the pagan events. Probably it was mostly a self-expression because the climate was mild. We didn't have really problems with the climate. Hmm. It all flows. No, it's neat. It's a neat feeling. A flowy feeling. Yes, they all flow. Well, but I'm so airheaded. How can I go on with the stream? I feel so airheaded right now. Wee. Yeah, something is going on, and it's very nice. It's very positive. I just feel like almost like I'm in a different place, or that a different place is coming here. Oh, yeah, I think something's coming in, folks. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I just want to kind of rock with the water. We just want to kind of rock with the water. Yeah, I'm feeling waves, big waves. I'm kind of being moved by the waves. Swimming along. Well, you're hearing locusts? Sounds like locusts. Now I'm hearing the high pitched noise. There it is. I was waiting. Yep. Two different sounds in two different ears, though. Yep. There it is. The high pitched noises everybody's hearing. We're all hearing them. What's going on? That's interesting. What's going on, man? It doesn't feel like a bad thing. Are we being communicated with? I think we are. Somehow we're getting a communication. Well, just let yourself hear it or feel it or whatever. Yeah, it is kind of a high pitched ringing or singing. Wow. No, I guess I missed that. The whole world shook? Oh, you met the Locust King. Cool. How was he? The whole world shook, huh? Interesting. You mean the whole world had some kind of tremor at once? I'm gonna have to look, see what Mr. BB is saying. Wow. So you got to talk to one of the locust people. Hmm. What was that like? Hmm. Wish I could click that. And by the time I close this stream, that'll be gone. Yeah, that'll be gone when I close this stream. Yes, now it's very loud. It's getting very loud. Okay, Ivarando, 이 시간은 바로 시간 결이 아니고, 피안도 되게 싶으니라, 좋아하는 거래야, 바로 싶으면 일이 있더라. 빨리 결의가 싶으면 말아야, 반쪽 고베리아 시켰 마음이나, 이 사람 말이야람 말이야람 들어버리면, 이 시간은 이스거든 말이야봐. 이 사람은 뭐래야, 내가 결의해야 될 거를 싶으면, 피나라, 우리 소리야, 그렇게 사람 거래. Fatto corre che non gliela scrive non mi caricare in modo per fermo ya barış kırmızı ilişkide o parayı para ilişki kırmızı hiç para ya o şöyle bunu yeni bir kit yazık mı diye para yarar ilişkini yine ama kita oraya bomboya ya barış kırmızı ya o ya şu bu araya şu bunu yara 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 more Maria, Orishkudam. Maria, Yovarias Kadam, Paul, the Caribbeans, Cambodia, Poriban, Pira, Porians, Cavania. Avaria, Goria, Goria, Gorium, Priest, Umnia. Ivaram, Priam, Brium, Punicarus, Umnia. Biram, Goris Career, Maria, Parnicar, whatever. Viriam, very, for Shuram, Shuram, Any idea what that was about, Chloe? Oh, locusts surrounding the Mecca, the cubes, the black cube. Okay, translated. Okay, Uhura, hailing frequencies open. Please hail that, hail that signal. Uh, Ah, okay. Yes, it's something good. It feels good. It feels very pleasant. I guess they had to get it in there before I signed off, right? I was I was thinking maybe I should pull away and sign off and go just find out what was going on, but now I guess this is to be shared. Well, I was hearing some words. I picked out a few words that I hear over and over. Varium, 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 varium. Usually they say it 3 times. Hmm. I wonder what varium is. Intaka. That's another one. Intaka. Ikoha. Hmm. Aquamarine. Yeah. Somebody's hearing orange and somebody's hearing aquamarine. Peach. Peachy. Yeah, the new colors of the rainbow. Yeah, they're different. The rainbow's going to be different now. Wow, yeah, I'm really drifting off somewhere. Okay. Yeah, I'll have Jim. I'll have Jim. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, I think there may be more. There may be more. I don't know. I kind of feel something coming up. Itoka. Parin get boy and koko para. Ikaramba ya. Iketa kopa. Ifaram periyam periyam periyam. Tikiriya. Baros periyam. Pariyam subscomintia. Ikaram. Kororo. Ichika. Porishkanamano. Ifaram. Periskanaman. Ifaram. Periskanaman. Ifaram. Periskanaman. Itaka. Okotaba. Inda. Of. Way. Fora. For. Pare. Chikum. Serious. Not bad, but kind of serious. Okay, I'm getting that it's a blessing. It's messages of love. It's love and healing. It's some kind of blessing. Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing stuff, but it's going by so fast. It's like stuff is just kind of ticking by. Pictures. I see a field, a green field with many yellow flowers, many yellow flowers. Is this the field of forgiveness? It might be. The field of forgiveness is described so. Is it time for some sort of forgiveness? Is that the message? Yes. Forgive us, forgive ourselves, forgive our enemies, forgive everybody. Just forgive it. Just forgive. Hmm. Right, witchy. Yeah, I was getting protection, love. You want to say anything else? I don't mind. I'll hang around a little while if you have something to say. Oh, 3:33 right now. I've been on 3 hours and 33 minutes. You have anything else? 보자, 딱 보니까 먼저고. 이제 까다로워 지금 봐. 이폰 우리가 뭐라고 fiamboliros con morio. Pasa que te mis cosas bien que ya. Y para no que ahora dice también. Y para una amiga es que no. Y más en el boro ofrecido. Pira por mar que le gatin. Borga para que era. Y para no borga las cosas que no. Y para me quieres que manini es que te bo. Para para y era que discos por venir. Raro cosas que para ya. Sirak, boro que es que era. Fin que quedar por discriminar. Chon. Para es que más. Liberas kumbruya, Shriya, Barara Paikita, the Poroya, here Papa, Papa, Gararia, Horia, Yam, Bararia, Venagara Muningania, Ishawo, Ivan, Iswamana. I wouldn't talk so much slower. That's like a side that talks a lot slower. I can almost kind of make out what that one's saying. That's weird. Link for the locust? What? For the locust? Around the black cube? I wish I could see this stuff. I can't click it. Dang, somebody send it to me. Or put it on our community tab or something. Locust around the black cube in Mecca. Locusts in Mecca. Huh? Well, they're giving us something. That last was a lot slower than usual. And it was like something, and they were giving us something, and we were receiving something. It was like they want to give us some kind of a gift, some kind of a something. Hmm. 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 Anybody else getting anything? Something, wait, hearts overflowing with love. It's on a grand day that I come. And the rest of it's pictures. And it looks like some kind of fire, but it's not fire. It's some kind of energy. It kind of looks like flames, but it's not flames. Hmm. It's just a really nice energy. On a grand day I come. Maybe, do you think this may have something to do with contact? Our hearts are overflowing with love on a grand day that come. Anything else? Oh boy. Intoko miniganagam, mosis kamini, como. Forever is down to the reason. Ibaran to the Holy Camera. Ferraganaria is the name. Farah, wherever you are, English Korean. But I haven't kissed Karaman, Pikacha. Foram Vidyasko, Pada, Mifida, Okadavika, Pari Batka, Shamabarika, Ipanako, well, that's much different than they usually do. That was something about on the day of freedom. On your day of freedom. This is a weird message. The dead shall walk but not be dead. They're not going to be undead either, no. Some people that we think died are going to be found to be alive. Interesting. Maybe that's an answer before. People that seem to be dead were going to be alive. They're going to be found to be alive. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that might have been an answer to an earlier question. And we were asking if some of the people that were, are some of them really actually alive and doing things not really in the afterlife, but alive and doing things just in a different, maybe just in a different or regenerated body, maybe. Yeah, I think that might have been an answer. I think we're going to be very surprised. That's what I keep getting. It's like we're going to be very surprised when we find out all that's been going on. There's been quite a lot. But there's been some happy things too. They're they're talking about, there's been some very happy events that we haven't heard about yet. When we hear about them, we'll be very, very happy. But they're not telling me what the surprise is yet. Mm-hmm. 528 megahertz. I've got a device that plays frequencies. 528 megahertz. I'm going to write that down. 528 Bs. Okay. Love frequency, right? Right. Yeah, somebody send me these, but I will not be able to click the link from here. Anyway, soon enough there'll be some peace and healing from, yeah. I'm getting it's the idea of soon there'll be some peace and healing from these attacks and soothing. I'm getting the feeling of soothing. There will come some soothing. I don't know. It's really hard to describe in human words. There are more feelings in pictures than words. Well, we're going to get healing. There will come many healings and soothings, and weeping replaced with joy. Just kind of the feeling of just hold on and stay positive. Keep your vibration high as possible, and realize the help is that things are going to change very soon. Things are going to flip very soon. We're getting towards some kind of a flipping point. Hmm. See, I'm kind of connected to bees. Bees like me. Mm. See, even Bee Freeman likes me. But no, bees kind of like me. I can talk to bees. I charmed some bees out of my house and into a shed so they'd be safe. A long time ago, found I could talk to them, and they like me, just in general. Every time I go out and I see bees on the flowers outside, I say, "Hello, ladies. How are you doing today?" They never hurt. You know what? That was the weirdest thing. I had something sting me in the head repeatedly. I didn't even know what the heck it was. I woke up with a headache from hell. I had stingers all around this ear on the right side. It took a long time for all the stingers to come out. And you know what? Crazy me. I didn't go to the doctor or anything. It just didn't even worry me for some reason. I wasn't that worried. Couldn't, that was weird. I didn't swell up that much, but it was definitely stingers. And it kind of hurt and itched. And I remember trying to pull all the stingers out. There were many stingers. I don't think it was bees though. Whoa. Yeah. That was kind of odd. The way that I took it was just so matter of fact. Gee, yeah, I have all these stings. I counted about 14, 15, something. I don't know, over a dozen. All these stingers sticking out of the right side of my head. But I wasn't swollen or anything. I wasn't really swollen. They just itched and kind of burned, and I pulled them out. I still wonder about that. What the heck was going on there? How did I get them? Was I sleepwalking? Did something happen while I was asleep? Because I just woke up with that. What was I doing in my sleep? You know, to get a whole bunch of stings on my right around my ear. Really weird. Back at the old place, I had weird shit like that happen all the time. Right. That's something I've always wondered about exactly what was going on here. Maybe they were trying to heal me of something. I don't know. Hmm. Maybe I was being abducted. I don't know. I just can't believe I wouldn't wake up from being stung a bunch of times. I don't know. I'd like to know someday what was going on there. Somebody can tell me what was actually happening. I'm putting away the cards. I'm getting ready to shut down the stream. Anyway, so good night, Mooney, and y'all. Well, it was an interesting stream, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing well. If you need some help, let us know. Maybe we'll do some group intentions for you if you want. Maybe we should do some group intentions for Scotty if things don't clear up for him soon. Okay. Yes, love you all. And I'll, like I said, I'll see you again on Wednesday probably. And truth is where you find it. I hope you're finding some here. Remember that you are divine. You are creators. So dream well and dream big. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about Starports another time, baby. Maybe they'll let us know what was in Starports. Love you guys. Bye bye.